Do act in the right time. Time can be your biggest enemy or your best friend. Any given moment, at any given moment, time is either on your side or against you. And they go to explain, oh, so this is talking about not rushing things like, well, doing things like, when are we going to go out together? When are we going to take this trip together? When are we going to get married? Taking those things at times that you all both agree. Now, one thing I was very upfront with him from date one, because I'm always upfront about this, and I really like him. And I was like, even on date one, I was like, okay, so he's somebody who want to work on something with, and that's what I'm trying to, that's what I'm saying. But I read an article a while ago that explained that people who date for a minimum of 3 years before getting married stay married the longest. People who date for less than that, it goes down for how long they get married. Now, of course, that might not be how it works. And of course, that's not how it worked at all for the previous generation, because people got married like that at the age of 15 and were, that they spent a life together. So it varies, but statistically, according to the article that I read. So, long story short, I told him, I was like, I really, really like you. Just FYI, where my mind is, I'm not going to marry anybody until we date for a minimum of 3 years, period. And I know people might be like, well, Aaron, you're 32. You ain't getting no younger. You might want to snatch them up now. But I'm like, 3 years minimum. So that's my thing. And he's like, okay, I agree. We can be on the same accord with that. So that's cool. Don't play on their weaknesses. Every day you have a choice to play on your partner's weaknesses or to reiterate their strengths. There are gentle ways to get your partner to understand what they should be doing differently. And constantly scolding them is not one of those methods. So I don't constantly scold Kevin. Kevin doesn't constantly scold me. But FYI, for somebody out there, don't get even. No matter what your partner has done or however they've wronged you in the past, don't retaliate or act bad or in bad faith. Don't act bad. She didn't say don't act bad. She said don't act in bad faith. Keep your personal karma clean by always, always treating the other person the way you'd like to be treated. And what they do wrong to you, that's their karma. But keep your karma clean by treating them the way that you want to be treated. That makes sense. Don't assume or blow things out of proportion. I'm not going to lie. I don't even have to read any farther. I have done that. And I'm not going to get too personal, but there definitely have been times that I was like, well, wait a minute. In my mind, I just knew I had it all figured out. I was like, but if A plus B equals C and C plus D equals E, then that must mean that D plus E must equal F. So you failing, and I'd be all upset and stuff like that. F is for failure, but and then I come to find out, oh, wait a minute, it wasn't that at all. So that makes sense. Don't assume or blow things out of proportion. That's something I have to work on myself. I'm a work in progress, y'all. I am trying my best. And also, don't act out of desperation. Think through your decisions and think through your decisions 1,000 times before you act on them. Acting on desperation will only yield more desperation. If you're desperate to get your partner to change, don't threaten to break up with them when in reality it's the last thing you want them to do. Okay, I hear that. All right. Love relationships, and this is the last paragraph, y'all. Okay, so y'all made it through like 10 minutes. Y'all okay. Love relationships are undoubtedly difficult to maintain if we don't consider the steps to uphold a positive dynamic. Take these 8 tips to eliminate relationship problems and strengthen the loving bond with your partner. Take these 8 tips. Take it from me. Those 8 tips make a lot of sense. They honestly do, y'all. And I think it's I think it's definitely worth paying attention to, and I explained how I connect to each of those tips, and it makes a lot of sense. I wish I knew exactly how to pronounce her name. I would have loved to roll like the R if it was Herrera, but it wasn't quite spelled like that. So I guess it was, but I saw the double R, so I rolled the R's. But I don't know like how you pronounce it. But Dr. Carmen Herrera, she's smart. She's on point. What do y'all think, YouTube? Talk to y'all later. Peace. Be blessed.